I'm Joe Lample. When I created Growing a Greener World, I had one goal: to tell stories of everyday people, innovators, entrepreneurs, forward-thinking leaders who are all, in ways both big and small, dedicated to organic gardening and farming, lightening our footprint, conserving vital resources, protecting natural habitats, making a tangible difference for us all. They're real, they're passionate, they're all around us. They're the game changers who are literally growing a greener world and inspiring the rest of us to do the same. Growing a greener world, it's more than a movement, it's our mission. Today, Honeybrook Farm in Pennington, New Jersey is a shining example of the modern CSA. It's based on an important concept that takes the arrangement beyond the usual commercial transaction. A successful CSA benefits not just the consumer, but the farmer too. And when it works, it really works. Just ask Honeybrook's founders and head farmers, Jim Kinsel and his wife, Sherry Dudas. Established in 1991, it's the oldest and largest certified organic program in the Garden State of New Jersey. So Sherry, talk more about the concept of the shared risk between the consumer, member, and the farmer, because that really seems to be at the heart of what makes a CSA successful.
Right, Joe, there is shared risk on a CSA, but many of our members realize before they even sign up for the CSA that their quantity of produce is going to be determined by the weather that year. So for example, last year we had an overabundance of rain that created a lot of disease. So our tomatoes didn't do so great, but watermelon loves water, so they got plenty of watermelon.
So maybe they're making a lot of watermelon gazpacho last year, but maybe the tomato salsa is going on the back burner.
Exactly.
But now, in addition to the shared risk, which they already are prepared for, there are tremendous benefits to a CSA for the consumer. Talk about some of those.
You're absolutely right. I think the primary benefit is that they're getting fresh, locally produced organic produce grown sometimes right in their neighborhoods, and that organic produce, being that it could have been picked just hours before they come to the farm market, is just chock full of vitamins and nutrients. And many of our members are families, so they're really concerned about what they're putting in their children's bodies and on their plates. And also they're getting a direct connection with a farm. For example, we have plenty of pick your own crops that our members are picking today, and they're experiencing the farm firsthand. So this year we're having a dry year. They're sort of seeing that maybe the grass isn't doing so great, but they're getting the really the joy of picking today blackberries with their families. They're also picking flowers with their children, and some of them are using the farm as an outdoor classroom to teach children about butterflies and bees. It's just a really pleasant experience being out here, and I think people actually think of it as a recreational opportunity.
And a safe place to do that as well, because in a certified organic farm like yours, there's none of that concern about the chemicals or anything that might harm them or their children, which is why we see so many of them out here.
That's right. They may be picking blackberries and eating them warm right in the field.
Yeah, you can't beat that. And having that connection with where their food and flowers are coming from is really important to your members, isn't it?
Oh, it really is. It's one of the primary reasons why they're here.
When you think about this issue of shared risk, along with managing your expectations, there's really no comparison to the benefits that really are derived from a CSA.
That's right, Joe. On a farm like this, we are really about reconnecting people to land, reestablishing a healthy connection with a farmer who's a member of the community, and providing a place for people to have community, to break bread together, to share recipes together. And not only are we doing this, CSAs are doing this all over the country, and it's growing, and it's great.
How many members do you have?
We have 3,200 memberships, and we have about 3,500 families shares on those memberships.
Do you see it slowing down?
No, we still have a waiting list even with all those farm members.
That's a good problem to have.
It is.
With a typical CSA program, each week during the growing season, members get a box or bag full of whatever was harvested that week. Now, early in the season, it might be a lot of bok choy and Swiss chard and very few tomatoes. At the end of the season, it could be just the opposite. But that's part of the fun of it, because you never really know what you're going to get until you open the box. Now, here at Honeybrook Farms, it's a little bit different than that. There aren't any preloaded boxes or bags, and members get to choose what they take home. Sherry, explain how your program works.
Well, we are very similar to a retail farm market, but instead of having prices above crops, we have the individual produce items and the quantities that the different share members are allowed to take. So in this example, we have a choice group, and they are getting a choice of cabbage, parsley, basil, or cilantro. If they have a family share, they're getting 4 total pieces, or an individual share gets 2 total pieces.
Okay, so it's mix or match, or just take all of one.
Exactly.
I like how that works already. Let's see what else you have.
Okay, great.
7 1/2, 7 3/4, 8. Wow, that is a lot of tomatoes, Sherry, but according to the sign, 8 pounds per family per week. Wow.
Yeah, and we're not even at the height of tomato season yet.
No wonder you have so many people as members.
We love our tomatoes around here.
And you know, I talk to a lot of people that tend to shy away from organically grown things simply because they think that they're blemished. They don't look as appetizing. What do you think about that statement?
I think that's a false statement. Look at this produce. It's as beautiful as you would find anywhere.
Yeah, that is exactly right. You cannot get any prettier than what you have right here. That is beautiful. Yeah, look at all of this. That is a lot to offer. And then there's this pick your own board. Many people have been hanging out here reading this board. Explain this to me.
Well, in addition to the crops that they're getting in the farm market, they also have pick your own privileges here at the farm. And so they come to the pick your own board to find out what we're offering that week. And this week we have flowers. We have specialty basil, as much as you can reasonably use this week.
Okay, that would be a real problem if I were out there this week. You'd see a real decline in your inventory. Love basil. And then blackberries, you have what, a pint for the family?
That's right, and then herbs, and we have many different varieties.
That is so much food, and the cost per week to belong to a CSA like this is about what?
It's about $28 for a family, and that equates to about a $70 retail value.
And that may not even be certified organic.
That's right.
What's not to love?
What's not to love?
And look at all this food. A successful CSA benefits not just the consumer, but the farmer too. One of the oldest and largest certified organic farms in Georgia is Riverview Farms, northwest of Atlanta. Farmers and owners Wes and Charlotte Swansea appreciate the concept of shared risk all too well. As with life, not everything goes as planned, but for the farmer of a CSA, life becomes just a bit more predictable in a world of uncertainty. Well, farming, of course, has plenty of challenges, and I imagine with a certified CSA, you have a unique set of challenges, but you also have some pretty special benefits, Wes.
There are advantages to farming for a CSA. A lot of the marketing is taken care of early in the season, and you know how much to grow for, you know your market, and so it's easier to grow for it.
Really helps with the budgeting.
Yeah.
And as a farmer, you'd rather be out here anyway, I would think, than in the office trying to figure out who your next customer's going to be.
Yeah, a farmer's place is definitely on the farm.
Yeah.
Organic farming is not without its challenges, and it's not easy, but you know, we are making a living doing it. And more importantly, we are preserving, you know, a piece of farmland, you know, which is very important, sustaining farmland, because that's what it's about, is future generations.
So Wes, as you serve your organic produce to all your customers, knowing that it's free of chemicals and you've got good, healthy, sustainable soil from all of your efforts, how does that feel to you?
That makes it worthwhile, knowing you've got healthy food and healthy soil. That is what makes it worth it.
I remember when Wes and I first started farming, we would do the little urban markets and sell to local restaurants, and we always found ourselves wanting to be back on the farm rather than spending days upon days trying to get rid of everything, knowing we had so much work back on the farm. And so I began to change my role a bit on what I was doing on the farm. And now I find myself as the bridge between what Wes is doing on the farm so that he can spend time managing the land and taking care of the crops. Wes and I have been doing this now for 10 years, and we hope to be continuing to do this for the rest of our days to preserve our farm for future generations so that my children and grandchildren will want to stay and grow food for the communities that we are building. And I find that so gratifying to have people eating our food, eating the same food we put on our plates, and knowing that all our hard work is worth it.
No matter what the variation on the CSA, the shared risk concept is still what drives the co-op. It's worth noting that very occasionally things go wrong on a farm, like they do in any kind of business, and the expected is not delivered, and members feel shortchanged. So if the potential for not getting your money's worth makes you feel anxious, then you can still get farm fresh goods by shopping at your local farmer's market.
Or see if there's a community agricultural partnership like Rainbeau Ridge in Bedford Hills, New York. Unlike a CSA where members and farmers share the risk, a CAP is more like a buyer's club. For a nominal annual fee, members have access to farm fresh produce, cheese, eggs, and local products. Once you're a member, you can buy from your choice of products on a weekly basis.
The founder and owner of this successful CAP program is Lisa Schwartz. They offer a lot here, from the award-winning goat cheese, the eggs fresh from the farm, the cut flowers, and of course, all the produce. Lisa, tell me about your decision here at the farm to make this a CAP program as opposed to a CSA.
Well, in fact, when we first started, we were a very small 12-family CSA. But over time, we learned a lot about our customers and from our customers as the kinds of things they wanted. So we adapted and evolved into CAP as we have it today.
So what are some of the things that you found that your customers preferred with the CAP?
Well, with our CAP program, we've tried to preserve the best of a CSA and tailor the rest to meet the needs of our customers here locally. The best of the CSA is that you live and die with the farmer. You're a piece of the farm and intimately connected. And with our membership and our membership fee, we create that tie financially, but we also create access for our customers to the farm so they feel very much at home here. They bring their children on farm days and walk through the garden and be there with the animals and see how we make the goat cheese. So we're really linking families to the farm. What CAP does allow our customers to do is buy what they want when they want to do it. If they're not here this week, there's not a box sitting waiting for them. If they don't happen to like kale, they don't have to eat kale. So we give them that flexibility. The good news in the CSA is if you get a box, you're forced to think about stretching your culinary repertoire. You have to think about different ways to use it and know that each of those ingredients is probably very healthy for you. Yeah. So that's good, but choice is also good.
You are working from before the sun rises until after it sets, so obviously there's a real passion there, but what's driving all of that?
You know, there's an incredible amount of satisfaction farming, growing your own food, milking your goats, making cheese. But doing that alone in a solitary way is not enough. Creating this wonderful team that we have here on the farm and sharing the joys, the bounty with our customers and their children and the community at large really just fills you up. And I think that's what ultimately a CAP is all about, is sharing food with community, learning to live more sustainably and eat more sustainably.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Well, it's clear that all your hard work has paid off because you really have quite the following now, Lisa.
Yes, we do. Our customers love being here for the quality of the produce that we grow. The fact that it's local makes it fresher, more delicious, and frankly, our organic practices are a big draw.
Yeah, of course that's important. And you've done a great job with that because you look around at all these wonderful tomatoes just ready for harvest. And I know that your customers have to love that too.
We are coming smack into the heart of the tomato season. Very excited. I know we're going to have a very bountiful and delicious tomato season this year.
Now something else though that goes very well with the tomatoes, along with a lot of other things, is
our goat cheese. Yeah. And frankly, I think that's what brings people here as well as our produce, as our delicious goat cheese.
Ah, yes, the famous goat cheese. Now it's quite a process. There are up to like 38 goats that need to be milked twice a day, so you can just imagine that's pretty much a full-time job. But once the milk is extracted from the goats, well, all the cheese making happens right here in the building, and Lisa has it down to a science. After the goats are milked, it comes into a separate facility called the cheese house. Step 1 is to strain the milk for any possible impurities that may have gotten in by accident. For cheese that's going to be made right away, the milk is put into the pasteurizer. If it's held over until later, it's put into a big chiller to bring the temperature down for storage. Once in the pasteurizer, the milk is held for 30 minutes at a temperature of at least 145 degrees. That's the criteria for it to be considered pasteurized. Next, the milk is cooled down to begin incorporating it into the recipes. The pasteurizing process knocks out a lot of the good microorganisms along with the bad stuff, so a freeze-dried culture is added to reintroduce flavors. She agitates the milk and culture, and hours later, when the pH is right, she adds a little bit of rennet. As a soft lactic acid cheese, it's cultured, it's renneted, and then it's left to sit until the next day. The curd separates from the whey, making it easy to hand ladle the curd into molds. Lisa makes several different shapes and a couple of different recipes. The next day, she flips the cheese in the mold. And the following day, salt and ash are added. Finally, it's wrapped and sent to market.
Lisa, this is such a treat. This is what we like to refer to as fast food on the farm.
I can get my arms around that.
It is so delicious, and you know, you can make so many different things with goat cheese, from appetizers to even desserts.
And that's what Chef Nathan Lyon is preparing for us in the kitchen right now. I'm gonna have another one.
Look at this. It's like a cloud of deliciousness. Room temperature deliciousness, to be exact. This is goat cheese, or chev, and I'm going to make the most wonderful dessert with it. Think of it as an adult dessert, a lemon vanilla goat cheese cheesecake. Let me show you how easy this is. So to start, like any old cheesecake, we'll start with some butter. We're going to melt this down. About 5 tablespoons is good for this one. There we are. And now while that's melting down, people would normally use graham crackers, but I'm going to use some ginger snaps. I think it gives it a bit more flavor. Put it in a Ziploc bag. And if you want your kids to be involved, I would actually do 2 Ziploc bags and double bag it, because we're going to smash these down until it's about crumb size. All right, well that wasn't that long. Maybe a minute, just enough time to melt the butter. So I'll turn this off, grab the original bowl, and they go back in. We're gonna add the butter and a little bit of brown sugar, and that will be the crust. We're gonna mix this together until it's well mixed. All right, that looks pretty darn good. Now, springform pan, okay? We're gonna spray it, the bottom and the sides, really lightly, just enough to get it coated. You know what? This looks perfect. This is another instrument we're gonna use. When I put the crust in here, the best way that I've found in order to make it even, the crust on the bottom, is actually to use the plastic top of this nonstick spray. Okay, nice and even, we're looking great. I'll put this off to the side, and now it's time to whip some cream. Heavy whipping cream, okay? This is ice cold right from the refrigerator, because actually whipping cream will whip much easier when it's nice and cold. We'll add it to the bowl. There we are. A little bit of brown sugar, okay? Now I don't want to add 2-3 cups like normal cheesecakes you may have, because I want the goat cheese, the tanginess to really come through with every bite. So a little bit of brown sugar. How about some pure vanilla extract, okay? We're gonna whip this until it's like whipped cream, if not a bit more consistency. Here we go. Okay, now I want you to check this out. This is like normal whipped cream, like a heavy whipped cream, just like that, okay? We're gonna go a little bit more. You see what I mean? Just a little bit more. Okay, this is what I mean. It's a little bit heavier than whipped cream, okay? So it starts to come apart. If I kept whipping this for maybe 2 more minutes, we would actually get butter. I don't need butter, I just want like a heavy, heavy, stiff whipped cream. This is the point when I add a little bit of local honey, okay? We're also gonna add, of course, some of this goat cheese, room temperature, okay? And fresh lemon zest, okay? All right, the zest of 1 lemon. The reason for this is the tanginess is so good, a little bit of sweetness, and then you have that lemon punch right at the end. Delicious. We'll add that in there. And we just whip it together, guys. And that's it. Here we go. All right, there we are. And the kids in the family, you can lick the bowl, you can lick the blades. There's no eggs in this dish, okay? And we'll just put this in here. And make it nice and level. Cover it with a little bit of plastic film and in the refrigerator for about 7 to 9 hours, and it sets up really, really nicely. So I made this one last night. 7 to 9 hours. Geez, that's like dinner time. Here we go. Now see how it sets up like this? What I'm gonna do is just open this up. Hope it comes out like so. There we go, guys. Just press it on through. Not sure why I'm whispering, I just happen to like this. There we are. And there we go. It's so simple, and it's a great way to use goat cheese, say out of the ordinary. You can taste the goat cheese, its tanginess, it's a little bit sweet, and that lemon pulls the whole thing together. This recipe and all my others at growingagreenerworld.com. Enjoy.
Easily accessible and fresh from the farm, having access to organically grown produce and products is more popular and important than ever. It's a simple idea with far-reaching benefits. Tens of thousands of people have already joined CSAs scattered across America.
Yet in some parts, there's more demand than there are farms to fill it.
If you'd like to know if there's a CSA farm near you, we have a link on our website to the most comprehensive directory.
You can also view past episodes, read great articles, and watch Chef Nathan's cooking videos and recipes too.
And the web address is the same as our name. It's growingagreenerworld.com. I'm Joe Lample.
And I'm Patty Moreno.
And we'll see you back here next time for more Growing a Greener World. Check this out.
Are you gonna share?
You gonna cook?
Yes.
We got a deal. Let's get going. 3, 2. Wow, Sherry, this produce looks fantastic. Do you happen to know what I was gonna say next?
Whoa! Not bad.
Yeah.
For a rookie. Except at this rate, it'll be time for evening milking. You know, we do this twice a day.
Well,
We'll still be here.
I have a feeling you might, so just keep going.
I'm an old pro.
Yeah, you know, extraordinary.